Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. On first down, Chubb able to get forward for about 4 as he's taken down. The tackle by Eric Armstead. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Mayfield looks to throw. Got a man, it's Brown. And he's taken down inside the 30. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 28.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run. But how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in? Or are you just hopeful, and you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called?
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Olivier Vernon coming in with some force for the sack that time.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now Garoppolo. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And taken right on the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. They run again on 1st down. Chubb. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And down to the 19-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying,
and they'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his RAC, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch. And he loves that. And he's going to carry that in at contract time.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Here we go. 65, 65.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. Flush to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
180.
54 Mike.
Kings. General West.
He's checking crap.
Following the interception, Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
They'll give it to Chubb. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll try again with Chubb, and he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this 1st quarter of play. On to the 2nd from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Throwing, Mayfield. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. following the touchdown. Here's Seibert now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. Here we go.
Check 4.
Mayfield on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's
now Mayfield lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
James now to return. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
Here we go.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there for the Niners. 53 yards. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Gets this one to Juszczyk. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. This is Coleman with a grab.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Greedy Williams, the rookie out of LSU, there to knock it away. How about this Browns defense they've held so far? This is now 3rd and goal. Completes it to Coleman. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Tevin Coleman taking it in as they are now on the board here in the first half. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. it's 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. The first down run with Chubb is going to go nowhere. He's, in fact, going to lose a couple. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Mayfield now from the 50. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sack back at about the 43-yard line. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Right there, 54, right there.
Mayfield down. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Alert, 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 alert.
To throw, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And able to work his way down to the 16. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They run. Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. The first half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well,
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Hey, alert! Alert! Alert!
Garoppolo looks to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
And Sanders has got it complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Here we go. Check 53. Better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down. Garoppolo now, just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but 1st and 10 here. Garoppolo again. And that's complete to Sanders. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. It's caught by Sanders. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here we go, here we
The
go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what a jump. Through an opening, and there he goes. Past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the 49ers get a score closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
You probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against his zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And a tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here we go, here we
The
go, here we go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? Now Garoppolo lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
13 yards there and a Niner first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
13.
Garoppolo on first down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for fourth.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 32-yard line. They'll run with Coleman on first down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Tevin Coleman, 27 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Gold with the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
On the ground, it's Chubb. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 38-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Mayfield into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Greedy Williams picks it off. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Following the interception, Mayfield. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's now
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Mayfield. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Mayfield to throw it. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. He was looking for Landry that time. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman, 50 yards. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote onto your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 34. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Garoppolo now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Garoppolo on the draw to Coleman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Here we go.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
11. Recon, 132 fighter.
To throw is Garoppolo. Left side here to Sanders. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 17-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It was Denzel Ward in from his corner spot there to take him down for the loss. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Garoppolo now. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. This one complete to Coleman. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position. But it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Trying to get it to Landry there, and that'll make it 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Nick Bosa in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Back to throw.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Niners take over in terrific field position.
Here we go. Like 20. Hey, 11.
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Browns' 45-yard line.
Here we go. 12, fellas. Here we go.
Well, Garoppolo's going to throw it. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
21. White.
Garoppolo to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Mack Wilson.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Hey, let go.
Here's Mayfield. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. And an alley to run. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Cleveland.